Altus Group's software, data, and advisory services help bring the clarity, perspective, and insights you need to minimize the risk and maximize the value of your investments. Because it's not simply how much data you have, it's how clearly you see it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Realcomm Live. Today, the word is fun, a little more informal. We are going to take a sneak peek at our upcoming conference. I think we got about 9 days to go. And I thought it would be a fun idea to get the partners on to kind of give you an inside sneak peek of what is going on. It is amazing the amount of details, the amount of conversations, emails. At some point, I would like to actually pull the statistics together, the data, to quantify exactly what does it take to put on an event that will have, over 175 exhibitors, 200 plus sponsors, and then anywhere from 2,000 to 2,200 attendees coming from all sorts of countries. The amount of details are just overwhelming. And I'm just so grateful for the team we have to put this together, because without really dedicated, talented, skillful people, it would be a very, very difficult task. So before I bring on my partners, let's take a quick look at last year's Realcomm so you kind of get a little idea of what to expect, the energy, and we'll be right back after that and have a great conversation. Hello, everybody. Good to have you back. All right. So with that, let me bring on my partners and let's get this great conversation going. All right, everybody. How are you?
Fine. Good morning.
Hanging in there.
Have you gotten any sleep in the last couple of days, couple of weeks, couple months?
A little short.
Not much.
It's telling. It tells you something when you sleep with a notepad beside the bed, so that all the many times you wake up in the middle of the night and have this thought, you can write it down. The problem is being able to decipher your handwriting the next morning.
Yeah, it is amazing. We're all pretty organized, and we keep the list, but those epiphanies or those ideas or those important things, they come to me at the craziest times, in the craziest places. It's like, oh my God, I forgot that, right? And
it's amazing how many problems I solve at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, well, it's one thing to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and be able to go back to bed. It's another to not be able to go back, and it's like, wait a minute, I got a long day. I can't start it at 3.
Cranking, yeah.
So
many little details.
Before we get started in the details of the conference, and Nance and Howard, you guys were there, almost from day one. At least you came on a couple years later. But did you ever think we would be sitting here getting ready to celebrate our 25th anniversary? I mean, Nance, I'm going to go to you first, because I worked with you before you came to Realcomm, and you've been there from day one.
Yeah. Wow. No. No. I don't know. Yeah, I did. I think that we have built up a community and while we've experienced, slow growth over the times where there were issues going on in the economy or in the industry, we've always managed to pick it back up, and people just seem to want to be a part of the community. So yeah, it's been a long time, but I
Yeah.
still think it's a strong event, very strong event.
And Howard, you go back even pre-Realcomm to Jameson Group.
Mhm.
Um, I forgot when we met, we were just young lads. Did you think we'd be sitting here, one job basically for 25, 30 years? Did
I've
you-
had two in 45 years. Is
If
that
you'd
not
asked me
insane?
in 95, 96, 97, I would have said, I'm not so sure that the industry is that interested in technology.
Right.
I would have said that it's a small market. Let's see where we can go with it. But as we matured, and I saw the way I think the way we approached it, and the way that we ended up deciding to drive value for the right stakeholders, and I think we didn't deviate
Right. Yeah,
from our
you're
vision
absolutely
on
right.
how we wanted
Yeah.
to impact the industry. I think we built something that's special and hasn't been duplicated anywhere else. So
Yeah.
I think that value that's in just inherent in not just the way we do things, because I think we do things in a unique, very high quality and innovative way, but I think the way we really value our community and engage them and
Yeah.
help them be the best they can, and also help them, help their businesses.
Well, and I always said we're really not a conference company. We didn't start to, let's start a conference company and make a lot of money. We were very interested in the topic and curating the conversation and, moving the conversation forward. The conference was just a mechanism to do that. So you're
Mhm.
right.
But remember what those conversations were back then. We were teaching people how to use email
Email,
and
yes.
what
For the
printers
early
to
days,
buy
yeah.
and
And
what
they
computers they should be looking at purchasing.
CompuServe and before the
Very
internet, yeah.
broker centric at the
and
beginning.
broker centric and digital marketing, but we were
We
selling
evolved though. That was the key.
transformation
We
Yeah.
evolved.
in the early
We evolved.
90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yep.
was
So
well,
Lise,
the late 90s still when we started.
Yeah.
yeah,
You
it was
know,
brokerage. It was
I
still
remember
brokerage.
Jim telling people, if you don't have an email address on your business card in the next 3 years, you're going to be out of business. And they all looked at him like he was crazy. And then
Yeah.
they showed up at our conference so they could learn how to
How
use
to use
email.
email.
That's right. Yeah.
Lise, so you came a couple years later, but I think what, 17, 18 years now?
Yeah, going on
18
18.
years. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, did you think we would be here for a 25th anniversary?
I saw a lot happening in the industry, and of course I work mostly with our solution providers, with our vendor partners, and there's just a lot going on with all of those companies, and so much innovation and so much technology that evolves from one phase to the next phase. Truly that graphic that we have that shows the different phases over the many years is, I think, true to the industry and how it has progressed. But I would say I didn't have any doubt that we would make it 25 years, and I think that the community has really come together across a lot of the challenges that we've had. And I think that's what sets us apart and sets our group apart and our conference apart, is that community. I don't think that it's just an event. You look around from one year to the next, and conversations and collaboration, and even on the vendor side, the ones that traditionally you would expect to be these direct competitors, they still talk to one another. They're friends. They work together. They partner in some
And I think we've helped inspire a lot of that community, those community.
Well, if you were ever a CIO, which I was, you can't do it alone. I mean, there's just too much. And if you're not collaborating, especially collaborating with somebody who does the same thing you do, and I think that's what everybody came to the realization is, I'm not going to survive this together. We need to fight this, as a group.
Exactly.
And I also want to make a statement on the community side. We're a community of communities, right? And I mean, and people say, well, who is the Realcomm community? It's every part of the ecosystem, maybe with the exception of design. But we've got the end user, the people who own the real estate, but not just own, but the tenant as well. So we got corporate America, right? We've got integrators, we've got manufacturers, we've got suppliers. So the community is probably really about 10 different communities that come together to form this one community. And the hope is that through chaos and some organization, these different communities can get together to make this real estate transformation happen. I mean, so that's, I think, one of the things I'm most proud of is there's multiple communities who all find Realcomm and IBcon and Cortec, for that matter, to be their home. So,
yeah. I mean, getting back to the question of longevity, the one thing that comes up for me every year, and I would probably guess that you guys might concur, is that it takes a lot of energy to put together a conference.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize all the moving parts, and that just because you did it last year, you can't take most of what you did last year and just do it again this year.
Right.
no,
You literally
start from
rip it
scratch.
apart
Yeah.
and start from square one. And it's exhausting. It's energizing. But in the end, it is exhausting. And I have some years I go, oh, how long are we?
I don't care if you're 25, you say that. Yeah. It does. And the thing is, you can't copy and paste. If we copy and pasted, we'd have been out of business 20 years ago, right? You have to constantly evolve. And if we're in the business of innovation, we too have to innovate. That takes time, energy, and effort.
It really
All right,
does.
so I want to get into the conference a little bit. Let's start like we doing our weekly calls, left to right. Nance, golf. Quick update on what's going on with golf. I hear we're sold out.
We are biggest tournament yet. We've got
Wow.
84 players, and this year we're supporting the Stacks and Jewels organization, so that makes it extra special. But yeah, it'll be a great day of golf.
Yeah. When I heard 80, I was amazed, and then you squeezed another 4 in there.
Yeah.
That is a record. It's our largest ever. So those guys and ladies are going to have
They're going to have a lot of fun out there.
A lot of fun. Howard, the tours, Vegas, pretty innovative city. You got some great tours lined up. Can you give us?
Oh my gosh, I think we're just scratching the surface of what's going on in Vegas. But between conference program and the tours, we'll be putting people on shuttle buses and taking them out to see Resorts World, arguably the most technologically advanced resort, casino, and hospitality in the world. That's sitting over the Las Vegas, Elon Musk's Hyperloop. So folks will get a tour of that. We'll take folks out to the Boxable factory that's manufactured housing that is above and beyond anything that we've ever seen. All I can say is go to the website and it'll blow your mind. We'll go out to Area 15, which is a part of an 80-acre site developed by the Fisher brothers, but they took 200,000 square feet of that and they created an immersive. Think of it as a retail mall that's just filled with curated immersive experience. It's really crazy. We'll take folks out to the Halo Car Operations Center, kind of the next generation of just-in-time car rentals. But instead of having to go to the agency or having them, delivered by a driver to you, they're maneuvered around remotely like a drone, from a remote operation.
And then I heard that we cannot do the View Studios because an A-list celebrity bought out the studio. But for any of you who are interested in that, still let us know. We're going to try to find another time to squeeze that one in. Not sure we can. No, don't want to set expectations, but a spectacular property as well. So the tours, A+ again, Howard. Great job.
Fun stuff.
We got a lot to go through, so I'm just going to keep press on pre-conference. Our biggest pre-con ever, right? And I'm going to name them quick, Howard, and I want you to do the highlights. Start with cyber, then we go CIO. We've got hybrid immersive, 5G, low voltage, integrator roundtable, boot camp, and what did I forget? ESG.
Yes, we got 9 events. We've never had that before. We also have a venture capital showcase.
Exactly.
And the rest of all of these going on. The cyber forum going on in the morning on Tuesday in the afternoon. The rest of those 8 events. Very robust programs. Some of the best. Some of the most, I'd say, active thought leaders in the world weighing in on some very challenging.
Well, and I just want to make a point of why this pre-con is so robust this year. We were all locked up for 2.5 years. the world, although it kept moving, right? Innovation kept moving. And then after the pandemic, with the just a huge shift in mindset, work from home, play from home, everything can now be done a lot more remotely. These topics like 5G, like immersive, like low voltage, they just accelerated with their technologies, and we couldn't just put them into a 45-minute session. We had to create a space where they had 2 to 3 hours really to introduce these big topics and really start to figure out how to get these things solved. Next year, maybe we go back to the regular schedule where they're just sessions, but we needed some time for people just to sit in rooms and catch up from the 2.5 years that we've been.
Yeah, these are literally between 3 and 4.5 hour events that are going deep.
Yep.
These are super sessions.
Yeah, they're super sessions. Exactly.
Yep.
Yep. All right. Parties. Nance, you've been known to throw some good parties. Can you tell us what the opening reception is going to be like, or the welcome reception?
Oh, wow. Well, what better way to kick things off than to be out by Caesar's Palace's renowned pool area called Temple of the Gods. And we will be at the Temple Pool, and it'll be a great time and a great way to kick things off. We're expecting 700 or 800 people to be joining us for that. So if you haven't already got it on your calendar, make sure you stop by at 6 o'clock on Tuesday the 13th.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
going to be a lot of fun. Could not ask for a more festive environment. That's why we chose Vegas for our 25th, right? Got that reputation. So although we work real hard, hopefully we're going to get out there and allow people to really unwind a little bit. Beautiful environment, have some drinks, some bites to eat, and enjoy each other's company. So I'm looking forward. Although I'm saying I'm looking forward to it. I don't think I've ever been to one. I'm running around busy doing something.
General session.
General session. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, and a little secret is you can't swim in the pools in Vegas after about 5 or 6 o'clock. Except when you come to a private party.
Oh, is that right?
Anybody wants to go
bring your bathing suit.
Bring your bathing suits.
Bring the bathing suit. Very good.
Interesting.
All right. So as we transition into what is day one, which is actually not day 3, but the first official day of the conference, Lisa, let's talk about the exhibit floor a little bit, and let's bring up that floor plan. You're busting it out. I mean, that's the program. We're looking for the exhibit floor. Tell us a little bit about the energy around this year's conference as it relates to the sponsors and the exhibitors and vendors.
Boy, we have got a tight exhibit floor. It is full, every nook and cranny. I think we used every bit of real estate that we could. I think it looks great. I'm really pleased with the way it's shaken out. We've got 175 exhibitors on the floor now with sponsors for the conference. There are about another 30 plus sponsors, so we're up to about 207 exhibitors and sponsors, but 175 companies that'll actually have a booth on the floor. We've got the actually 6 pavilions that we are showcasing. We've got our 5G and building wireless pavilion. We've got our energy and ESG pavilion. We've got healthy buildings pavilion. We've got cybersecurity pavilion. We also have our partner pavilion where we're showcasing those companies that really help us along the way and partner with us for industry, marketing initiatives and some other things. We also have the launch pad, which is where we really wrap our arms around those prop tech companies, those companies that are just getting started and trying to get their foot in the door. We've got about 13 of those that are on the floor that we're really kind of helping give a little nudge. They're less than 5 years old, so really some innovative, great ideas. And then Howard has put together that Launchpad showcase session, which they will be participating in as well. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Realcomm Live is always the hub of activity. There's a lot going on there. We've got the balcony that we've got some fun things going on there. We're going to have cornhole out there. We're going to have an ice cream hour at some point during the day. I think it's on Wednesday afternoon or Thursday. But it's a great looking floor, and about a third of the floor are all brand new companies. So, people that have been coming to Realcomm, IBcon for years will see a lot of new faces on the floor, companies that they haven't seen before, and have a chance to
And I
talk.
want to make just a statement on that exhibit floor, and great hats off to you and your team. I mean, for identifying the relevant, important companies. There's a lot of conversations, a lot of different events, that purport to be the place to go to talk about real estate technology. And we're pretty quiet, about, what we do and everything. But if you're interested in real estate technology, prop tech, CRE tech, whatever you want to call it, there is not a better exhibit floor to see where the industry's at. Number one, the size. I do believe it is the largest gathering of prop tech vendors in one place. Number two, it is small, medium, and large startups, intermediaries, and those industry giants, where you can see the latest and greatest, newest startup right next to those established enterprise companies that are such an important part of the conversation. So I would just say anybody who is, even if you didn't go to the program, which you do want to go to the program because Howard puts together a great program, but that exhibit floor, you need to go up online. You need to see what companies are there. You need to study it. You need to come and attack the exhibit floor, because if you just walk in and randomly go through it trying to see what's going on, you'll spend 2.5 days and you won't get what you're looking for. So it's big. There's a lot of energy in there. Please make sure you study that floor and know what you're looking for when you come.
Yeah, that's right. And we also have a lounge on the floor too that's powered by Leviton. They did a great job last year, and that's a great place that's our recharge lounge, and that's a great place to come in and just plan your day schedule and hang out with some colleagues, have some networking time, talk to people. There's a lot to do on the exhibit floor, and a lot of technologies that are represented.
Well, let's take a brief break here from one of our sponsors. And when we come back, I'm going to have Howard go over the program a little bit and the process. Nothing like it. I mean, I've been doing this a long time. The quality, the quantity of speakers and the topics, so spot on, and excited to talk to him about that. We'll be right back.
In commercial real estate, success starts with the building. The best run properties deliver the best tenant experiences, boosting your NOI. Enter Prism by Building Engines, uniquely designed to help you increase NOI from a single building to thousands of commercial properties, including core features for best-in-class operations, innovative tools to boost the tenant experience, and unique solutions you won't see from any other ops provider. The platform's open API infrastructure connects seamlessly with your in-house systems. See why the world's most successful companies have chosen Building Engines. Visit buildingengines.com to schedule a free demo and see the power of Prism today.
All right, we're back. Howard, so let me just kind of give a high-level perspective of what I think you do, and then you can correct me if I'm wrong. You basically send out hundreds of surveys, talk to hundreds, if not thousands of people. You've got all sorts of spreadsheets that try to quantify what are the important topics out of the hundreds that you could choose from, right? Over the years, there's literally hundreds and hundreds of topics that we could present. So by virtue of your process, the big ones bubble up, and that's what is, the biggest ones go right to the general session, where everybody needs to hear them. And then you've got your pre-com, where we got so much going on, and then you've got your breakouts. Tell us a little bit about the topics and the subjects you're seeing bubbling up this year that are going to be really important for people to get involved with and understand.
Well, the big topics that that become tracks at our conference, they fall into a few categories. So we talk a lot about the data and the application architecture that companies, especially on the owner, developer, or investment management side, are always looking at in their digital transformation process to help run their organizations better, more proactively, and apply the new tools like analytics, AI, machine learning, so that they can move from reactive to predictive. We're always looking at the way people are automating processes. And in fact, we made a push a couple of years ago to start chronicling those. And we actually set up a showcase where folks like the CIOs and the CTOs are actually demonstrating how they've automated processes that haven't been automated before, like the CAM reconciliation process, or month-end investor reporting, and how they've actually done that. So you can actually walk up and talk to them about that. We talk a lot about the trajectory for prop tech, for carbon accounting, carbon management, ESG. There are still so many challenges in the industry around so many of these things. What with the headwinds that we've been facing post-pandemic, global financial.
Well, with that, you bring up a great point. So collectively, your team and those of us working on the general session, the big topics that bubbled up, the big ones, is innovation, the built environment innovation at city scale. We're going to be talking about Las Vegas and everything that they're doing. The state of the market, like you just said, not just the real estate market, the economy, the real estate market, but also the prop tech market. We've seen a lot of companies' valuations plummet over the last 16 months, 18 months. Yet we still see new companies getting funded. So we're going to have a lot of conversation about that. We've got AI is going to be part of our general session conversation. Of course, we got our 6 chairs who are going to weigh in on everything from ESG to AI and smart buildings and wireless, and another phenomenal, approach to getting these big topics out. But I think one of the newest ones to our environment is the nation state conversation, right? The threats, the geopolitical shifting that's going on in the world as it relates to competitiveness, technology competitiveness, specifically in things like 5G and AI and quantum. But then again, from the cyber perspective, right? I mean, we've got the cyber forum on the first that kicks off the pre-con day. There's some real threats, not just with disgruntled employees and criminal organizations, but nation states are now getting into cyber as a major tool to distract and cause distress.
We have to help everybody understand that as quickly as we can.
Yes.
So that we can start doing something. I would say overall, if I characterize our program, about 80% of it is focused on things, focused on case studies, things that folks in our industry can learn and apply to what they're doing Monday morning.
Well, and you say case studies, the second day general session is going to feature Walmart, the director of real estate, SVP of real estate for Walmart, who is in charge of building their new campus. And she's going to be there talking about innovation at a campus scale, which will be one of the newest and probably most innovative corporate campuses in the country, if not the world. So we're going to get that firsthand. So A+, congratulations on the program.
Just to wrap it up, just so kind of just a soundbite here. A lot of conferences, heavy on expo, light on conference education. Some are heavy on conference education, light on expo. We are heavy on expo. And for our conference education, we've got 122 sessions.
Wow.
With over 270 unique speakers that have been handpicked in this industry.
Not for their name, not for their logo, but for their domain expertise.
Because of what they bring,
What they bring, yeah. And that has been so true of your program going back as long as I can remember. You work 2-3 times harder and longer than anybody I know to make sure the right topics are chosen and the right speakers are on that stage. So A+. And then, Nance, the final conversation is logistics, right? So we got program, we've got exhibit floor and sponsors, and then we've got pulling it all together. I'm amazed you're even awake, frankly, and you're smiling.
I'm not. Well, that is only due to the fact that we have a team working with us that has been with us many years. So they know what to do and they just get it done. They work long and hard. And they make it happen. I mean, from 8 session rooms going on simultaneously to LED walls that are almost the length of a football field. Okay, maybe not quite that long, but they sure feel like it when you're worrying about setting it up. Yeah. So no, they do a phenomenal job, and the show will be just
and
A+.
I think Howard mentioned it earlier. Many business models, you can create something and then copy and paste it, and then with minor alterations. Think of In-N-Out Burger hasn't changed much in 20 years, right? They just build on that brand. We have to rethink every year, and we go to a new place every year. So even if we're
work
well
with new
organized,
people every year,
we're
and
well organized, we plan very well. The environment changes. It's new people, it's new things, it's new issues. We got plenty of issues we're dealing with at Caesars, right? And that you can't copy and paste. You really have to start from scratch. And again, you've done it for a very long time. I think almost 25 years.
All of those gray hairs.
Yeah. But you do a phenomenal job. And really, I don't think as I've told you before, I would not go into this battle without the three of you at my side. And that's the only way it works, is because everybody knows what they're doing and is still passionate. To some extent. I mean, as Howard said, you get a little tired here and there, but it is just great to have the three of you to go into this battle with, as well as our entire team, who they're priceless. Everybody knows what they need to do. There's no pushing, cajoling. Everybody head down, including Ian, who's producing the show today. His list is long, and I'm sure he's going to be glad to get off this and get back to work.
Yes, that would be true, Jim.
All right, we didn't do the news.
We're skipping the news today.
We are skipping the news. Here's the news. You better be at Realcomm and IBcon starting June 13th, 14th, and 15th. And if you want to golf, well, you can't golf. That's sold out. But if you're serious about this industry, this real estate technology, you can't miss it, right? I mean, we are assembling the best vendors, the best speakers, the best topics, and it'll be, orchestrated beautifully by Nance and her team. And I really just want to encourage people, if you haven't signed up yet, you should do so. And that's the news for today. Yeah. All right. And then next week, we're not going to be live on Realcomm Live. We're going to send out one of our favorite episodes, kind of a rerun, where we're all packing up and getting ready to go to Vegas. So the show will go on, but it will be one of our past episodes. And then we pick up Realcomm Live on the stage at the conference. So we'll be broadcasting live for 2 days. And the best speakers of the conference, the best topics, will make their way to that stage. So it'll be streaming for those of you not able to make it to the conference. And it's a good way to get a sense of what's going on in the industry, the pulse, the energy. Put it up on your desk, do your emails, do your work, listen to what's going on. It's going to be a great lineup. And then one final thing, the Digi Awards, 25th anniversary. Nominations are closed at this point, but boy, we got some great winners. We're giving out Digital Impact Awards again, and one Lifetime Achievement Award to a very special individual. And we may have a surprise or two when it comes to Digi. So anybody else got anything else to add before we close for today?
No, just hope to see you all there.
Godspeed.
In Vegas.
Yeah, amen.
Safe travels.
Safe travels. All right. Thank you so much. You guys get back to our lists, and we'll see everybody in Vegas. Be well.
Bye, guys.